Welcome everyone. Today we'll have the latest patch notes and also market review for today and also this weekly reset for the March 24th. And what you're going to see over here is, I have prepared some notes of the most important summaries of these patch notes. And oh boy, there's a lot of things you should be aware. How much of the free tier 3 materials you'll be getting and how will this affect the market trend. So over here, I have written some of the notes and also some of the summaries of how the market trend will behave on this week, including some very interesting patterns and also something you should be aware of the massive price drop. I have also included some of the items you maybe want to be interested of trading on the following week. So this is a new feature I added. And finally, what I want to do is I do want to talk about the sudden drop in prices after our last market trend video. I want to give you guys some insight why the price is dropping so hard, and also we'll go through the trend of what might happen in the future for this week. So we'll be doing some predictions of the prices and whether the price are going to keep dropping, whether the price will bounce back, and what's going to happen to the lipstones. And there's a lot of things I want to share with you guys in this video. Now coming over to the latest patch notes. So this is for the March 24th weekly update notes, and this is massive. So I do have some summaries over here, so I'll briefly talk to you guys about the patch notes. So the patch will happen on the 12 AM server time. So as you guys can see over here, this is the server time that's coming soon. So this will last for 8 hours, but usually it is much shorter. Maybe it takes 4 to 6 hours. So it can be shorter if you guys want to check earlier. There's a few things you want to be aware. There will be the Casual Guardian raid event, which is an event, so this is not going to be permanent. There's going to be a lot of homing materials from this event, also tier 3 chest, so that's going to drop those prices. There will be the new Battleground and also new Battleground exchange, which will give us homing materials and also other rewards. We're waiting to see. There's going to be a massive player gift, which I have made a summary for you guys over here to see exactly what are some of the important loots you should be aware in this gift. And there's some really good things. Legendary card selection deck, definitely keep those. Phaons are worth a lot of gold. So there's a lot of things you do want to save and don't use them too rashly. And over here, I made a summary of all those good stuff that you'll be getting. And this will massively affect the tier 3 market on the following week or the following days. And also over here, we're getting additional materials for the grand packs. We're not sure if this will be for the tier 3 books, and if it's for the tier 3 books, this is going to be massive. And also we're getting additional stones from the tier 3, so those are going to be pretty big, and we're also getting additional coins for that. And finally, there is going to be additional prevention system for the bots, and this is very important. And this is one of the biggest reasons why the market has been crashing, because sadly there seems to be a lot of botting in tier 3, and this has dramatically affected the price of the game. And you can see, currently in the market, the price of things just falling massively, right? So there's some explanation to this. Let me go through this as well. And also there's some bug fixes. So what we'll do is, let's come over to a summary notes. I want to highlight all the important parts of this particular notes with a written summary, and then we're going to the market trend of important items that we might be trading, we might be selling, or we might be buying. Now this week's patch update will be a massive 8-hour huge update, and of course sometimes this might only take 5 to 8 hours, and this patch is going to lead to the stones, the Destruction Stone, Guardian Stone, and also massive Lipstone falling. I'll explain very soon. Now the Casual Raid, Guardian Raid event is going to give us homing materials and also tier 3 chest, and this will again lower the price of the tier 3 stones and also the gems. So what I mean by that is, if we come over to the market, you can see the market has already adjusted. People are rush and also panic selling, very similar to last week. But for this week, there's some merits why people are selling this way. And as we keep going, we're going to see the grand packs will give us rate up books. We're not sure if that is going to give tier 3 books, but very likely it might. So if this give us tier 3 books, a lot of players will get to 1370 and have a higher chance of doing that. And also we'll be getting more Destruction Stones and Guardian Stones. So the stone price are definitely going to fall. We'll talk about what's going to happen after 1370, because from one of the items, the tier 3 pouches, this might actually rise. So this will be the item of me trading for the next week. And I'll just explain to you guys why this might rise, because the price is super low right now. Now coming over to the summary of the free gift and also items. So other than the skins, the months, the card selection, and also Phaons, you'll be getting 150 tier 3 lipstones, and this is massive. You'll also be getting 1,200 tier 3 Guardian Stones, 400 tier 3 Destruction Stones. So those are here to push players to 1,370. And then we're going to look into homing for this, and then we're going to look into progressing into 1385 and progressing to 1400, and those will be the next focus of our coming videos with a new homing guide, because the rates will change, the materials will change, and you'll be using greater honor stones. So this is going to be very important progress for you to get into aggros stage 1, stage 2, and also stage 3. Now there will also be tier 1 and also tier 2 purple books and also fusion materials. Those are okay with the gift, but it's not that massive. What's also a great highlight is there seems to be better bot prevention, which is going to be a massive factor. So coming over to our summary of the weekly trend. So over here, I do have some mixed trend. So we'll talk about the dropping prices very soon over here. So on the moon spread, I haven't been paying close attention to it. We might see a tiny rise in price or maybe fall off in price because we're getting more purple books. So this is a mixed preference. I haven't really looked into this. For the Solar Grace, Solar Blessing, Solar Protection, we might see a slight 15 to 5% increase in price. So currently the price are quite low, but I have been monitoring after the patch came out and after the results, it seems like people have started to buy those materials again. And fingers crossed, because you can see all my gold is actually invested into those items. I haven't sold them yet, and I actually bought them quite expensively. So I'm really hoping the price will come back. Now, two reasons why the price will come back. One is that after the reset, there is no new Chaos Gate. Secondly is players will be getting a lot of other radar materials like tier 3 stones, destruction stones, guardian stones. The only thing they're missing is going to be the tier 3 pouches and also the radar materials. So this is why if you're planning to sell, the best window after the reset and also new patch will be about 6 hours between this window. But if you're planning to buy, the best window is to wait for the Chaos Gate, maybe into Friday and also into Saturday. Now over here, I do want to make an apology for our last market trend video. I was testing this trend for the past 2 weeks and it had been working for me. And you can tell that personally, I have invested into a lot of those items. So I wasn't making the video just to get you guys lose money, right? I wanted everyone to make gold with me together. But unfortunately, the prices have been falling. But what I'm hoping for is similar to the trend and also similar to the pattern, I'm hoping we'll still see a small coming back or maybe rising price of the current market price by the time the reset comes after the major patch. Because as you can see with the notes over here, we don't see any radar materials like Solar Grace, Solar Blessing. You'll be getting a lot of stones and lipstones. So this should technically help us to get more values from our radar materials if you have invested like me. But I do really want to apologize to everyone who has been looking at the loss. I feel terrible and it's been on my mind for the past few days. So I do really apologize for that. And over here, I have been looking hard into some of the reasons why this have happened. Now lately, there seems to be some massive drop in prices of all items. It seems to be a massive deflation. So the prices of all items in the server seems to be reducing. And a lot of players will ask me why this is the case. So here we have some of the reasons behind it. The first thing is a lot of players have noticed that bots is coming into tier 3 and they are farming a lot of materials and they're dumping and selling those materials. And this is why it's so important for this patch to actually address the bots and to remove them. Whether it's too late for the market crash or this will slowly recover the price of items, we're not sure, but this is very important. Now, the second reason the price is crashing is because the game Amazon, or Lost Ark has been giving us a lot of free items for tier 3, lipstones, homing materials, and also more items. As you can see over here, more gifts. They really want to push players to 1370 and then to get the players into aggros. And by doing this, this is actually reducing the market price. And also we're getting lipstones, which will also lower the greater lipstone price, because 5 lipstones goes into 1 greater lipstone. So if we come over to the lipstones, they're about 100 gold per one, and this means it's about 400 gold for the greater lipstone. So the market exchange rate is about 1 to 4, because if you get to 1 to 5, people will just buy the lipstones, right? So this is one of the reasons, and also with more players getting their character to tier 3, the alt characters. So there's more characters becoming tier 3 and also selling materials, and this is creating a massive supply. On top of that, players are also waiting for the latest roadmap and also for the anticipation of the increase of homing rates for 1370 and below. So Remember we heard there will be a bonus rate. It is likely this will come around April, but currently a lot of players are not homing and not upgrading because they think this might come earlier. If they get the news that there's going to be bonus tier 3 rate, they're not going to buy the tier 3 upgrade materials like Solar Grace, Solar Blessing, and also Solar Protection over here. But today, after seeing the news there is no rate up bonus, players have started to buy those materials. So one thing I monitored is there was about 1,700 items sold at 70 gold. Now it's about 700. So a lot of stocks have been cleared and players have started to buy them again, which is a good sign. And there seems to be a general deflation because maybe there's a reducing player base. Players have not played much during the week and most players are waiting for the weekend to play. So once we get a new roadmap and also new patch update, a lot of things will change and we'll update the video accordingly. So those are some of my reasons why the price have fallen so hard. And I do really want to apologize to everyone who was following my market trend. And because I did the same thing. Now I'm really hoping that we don't make a massive loss. There is still a chance the price of Solar Grace coming back to 100 gold and Solar Blessing coming back to 400 gold. Because you can see there isn't a lot of sellers at each interval. So once the patch resets, we still have a chance to not make a loss and make a small profit. Now coming back to our trend for this week, the massive falling trend will be the Guardian Stones, Destruction Stones, Fusion Materials and also Lip Stones. Simply because there is going to be the weekly reset and combined with all the free materials, all the exchange shops, everything that is given to the players, the Lost Ark game developers is pushing players to 1,370. And by pushing players this way, those material price will massively drop. So if you're planning to sell, you either sell those fast or the price of those items will fall, right? But if you're planning to buy, wait 1 to 2 hours after the update and also reset. Players will be dumping those materials massively and you can get an all-time low if you're buying into those items. And this could help you greatly into progressing into the next tier. So 1,700 will be the next goal and then 1,370, then 1,385. And I'll be making guides on those. Now finally, for the skins and also mounts, those also have seen a pretty sharp falling in price. So over here you can see the skins. Those is about 12,000 gold, this is about 15,000 gold yesterday. This is about 90,000 gold or 10,000 gold, so the platinum stem is still 90,000 gold. The bigger four is going to be the Celebrus mount from 170,000 gold to about 150,000 gold. And also the Cloud has fallen from 400,000 gold to about 25,000 gold. Or 250,000 gold. So you can see about 10 to 30% falling in the skins and also mounts. This is because players will be looking for the new Mokoko mounts and players will be looking for the new skins to try. And if this is the case, all of those skins, all of those mounts, those will affect the price of those items. So I don't recommend investing into the old skins and also old mounts. The price might fall, but it's uncertain at the moment. Now, one of the biggest questions is, as we follow the market trend and try to understand the market, one of the bigger items of interest is how do we make gold on what items? So one of the first things we do want to notice is gold to crystal price. If we look at the market price, it's actually at an all-time low for my server, at least, I think for most servers. You can see that gold actually fell to 400 gold per 95 crystals briefly, then fell back to 500. So let's have a look at the moment. So I think it's around 500 right now, so which is quite low in my server. We have been hitting to 538, so it's slowly climbing. So we have been hitting for 700 or even 900 back then. So one of the deflation is making the crystals very cheap. Now, if you guys are planning to get stocked up on crystals, you can see here I have about 4,000 crystals that are stocked up, which I actually bought them quite expensively, right? Back then, I actually bought them quite expensively for 500 or 600. So if you're planning to stock up crystals, this may be a really good time because it does seem like the prices are quite low for this. And also for the items like Awakening Shard and also Elemental Potions. So if we come over to the game, so those are the items I do want to share with you guys. Elemental Shards, they were selling for 1 gold in my server a little earlier, so now they're selling back to 3 gold. If you want to bargain, always buy those for 1 gold, because this is the lowest point you can buy them. You will always make a profit if you sell for 3 gold. Don't sell it for 2 gold, because if you list this for 2 gold, I'll show you guys over here. If you list this item for 2 gold, the deposit and fee will be 1 gold. So it's the same of selling this for 1 gold. So people only sell for 1 gold or 3 gold. And I actually, bought a little bit at 1 gold. So that's why I'm on 7,000 at the moment. So this can be a small investment. I wouldn't say this will be a massive profit, but you'll save a lot of silvers by buying this with gold instead of with silver. Because trust me, you will need silvers after 1,370. Now, once most players start into the aggros for 1,370, Elemental Potions will be a big factor. So let me show you guys over here. So HP Potion. HP Elemental Potion. Now why HP Elemental Potion is this potion allows for 7 uses, and this is so important for raid. Currently, the potion price have fallen from 28 gold to 24 gold again, so we might see a continuous falling of those potion price, but those potions might also go up because players need those for the aggro raid. So this is one item to be keeping in mind of, not really to invest on it, maybe just to have some, just in case you need them for the aggro raid. Now, I did save the best item to last. I think personally I will be investing and looking into the tier 3 pouches. So what I want to show you guys is, if we come over and have a look at the tier 3 pouches, those were selling for about 50 gold on my server, and the medium pouches were selling for 100 gold on my server. After the patch notes release and after a lot of items drop in prices, those items actually goes up in price. So let me show you guys the trend over here. If we come over here to the market trend, you can see, Guardian Stones is falling massively, Distraction Stone falling massively. But if you come over to the tier 3 pouches, notice at one interval in time today, it actually went from 50 gold to 76 gold. And this is actually pretty massive, because one of the biggest reasons players are not aware of is, I'll show you guys over here. So currently my item level is 1390, and I haven't really spent gold onto upgrading, just doing slowly with my dailies. So to get a level 12 weapon to level 13, it will cost me 9,000 honor shard. And each day I get about 4,000 to 5,000 honor shard from chaos dungeons. So I can't even upgrade this weapon for 2 days unless I buy those honor shard. And similarly, to get an item from level 9 to level 10, this will cost 5,000 honor shard. And you will need a lot of those after 1,370. Currently the market price is so low because players have been not needing them. Players have been dumping those items, there's a lot of supply. But as players get to 1,370, those items will be on higher demand. And I do think there is a big profit window on this. Now personally, I have bought into a little bit, so about 135, about 42. I haven't bought a lot of those. But on the coming weeks, I do think I'll look into those items because there's a higher chance of the retail materials falling in price. I'll make a guide video on this, so I will be testing this and I'll be sharing you my findings. And if this does make gold, I want to let you guys know as quickly as I can. But currently, keep that in mind, guys, because we're looking into market trends. Sometimes I can also be wrong, and I do want to apologize for the market trend for the last video, because I really don't want us to lose gold. Personally, it's a terrible feeling to lose gold, and I'm really hoping for the price to go up as well, so everyone at least doesn't make a loss or maybe make a small profit. Now, just before we finish the video, in case you guys do want the PvP coins and you're not great at PvP, I do have a small tip. So the team elimination gives you a 50% chance of winning, because you can be carried by your other 2 teammates. So this is one of the games I queue all the time, and I actually get a really high success rate. So this is how I actually got to tier 1. I can't even PvP. So a lot of the time my teammate would just carry me 1 vs 3, and the enemy might carry them 1 vs 3, but these are 50-50, right? So if you guys are trying to win PvP or get an even chance of winning, team elimination is actually pretty good for those PvP coins for the exchange shop that is coming. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so, because we'll be getting a lot of guides, a lot of tips as I discover them, and I love the game. So I want to share as much as I can with you guys, and let's have a great time in Lost Ark as we explore this game and get the most out of it.